did the British also feel what Nigerians have been feeling? So it's not only us that will suffer when the British support bad things. Let them also suffer. What do you expect? I think the British are not part of what's going on in Nigeria. So if Nigeria also complain, the British keep quiet. The British should also not complain. They should enjoy it.
What's up, my people? How are you? Happy Sunday to us. Make I drop this hot pepper soup juicy story for a sharply. Not gonna use wet on our body for inside this Sunday afternoon. So, did you hear yesterday an exclusive by People's Gazette how EFCC, DSS, aka SSS, abduct, that is Bab NNPC boss Oga Bayo Ojulari, forced him to sign in resignation letter after a directive from Oga Presido Bola Tinubu girlfriend, according to the report where her name na Olatimbo Ayinde, wey based for UK. I don't hear that gist. And as a matter of fact, it been there another exclusive report we carry and say UK prosecutors they vex and they've bone face well as EFCC no gree provide evidence where they need to transfer the evidence where they need for inside the multi-billion naira bribery trial we get to do with this same particular woman for inside UK which she they face. They no gree provide the evidence, and that one they vex UK well. But sit down and relax as Ibe say Oga Katch on Onuju put in 2 cents from top of this matter where we get. This now update with Precious so they come back. Right, my people, we could jump straight into the matter where they grant this now updated pressure. So, according to this report, in a development reminiscent of Nigeria's dark military days, that is a matter where resemble waiting be they happen during military era, they say top officials of 2 federal law enforcement and security bodies, them, aka EFCC and DSS or SSS as you go call them, said then grab the head of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, that is NNPC boss Oga Bayo Ojulari. Said then carry am go inside the secret rendezvous, that is a secret restaurant, a secret somewhere like that. Come the first time say making sign in resignation. Now, Bayo Ojulari said they seize him on Friday night and pressure him to sign a resignation letter. And people wait for some. Now, Oga EFCC boss Ola Olukoyede will be pastor, by the way, and also the Oga Patapata of the SSS, where in name na Adeola Ajayi. Said them too for some say make his sign in resignation. Now, according to the report, they say the incident happened on Friday night, and said as they narrate the matter to People's Gazette, they say the national security and law sources familiar with the matter, that is where you know the matter, and I report the matter to them, and say with some of them describing the operation as a coup d'etat. Said it's in a coup d'etat against the EFCC, na coup d'etat against the NNPC boss because of say President Bola Tinubu no even know about this matter at all. So na cool. Now officials say Mr. Ojulari reportedly they question Mr. Ojulari say wetin you know about one woman like that. You did one woman wey dey for Britain. Wetin you know about her? Say her name na Olatimbo Ayinde. Wetin you know about her? She be British Nigerian where they do business. Wetin you know about her? Say Oga Ojulari say I don't know anything. I don't know anything about her. Then the first one say wetin you know about her? Wetin you know about her? He say I don't know anything. Then they say this woman gets mind to want to do business with NNPC, but say you no agree her to do business with NNPC. So what thing you know about her? Saying they talk saying no, you don't know anything about her, you don't know anything about her. Saying so then use Babam tell and say he must sign a resignation. Now, if you remember, this particular woman will be bring you an exclusive about this woman. According to the exclusive way say People's Gazette also released. Say this particular woman, as we talk to you, say UK government they vex, especially UK courts, they vex well for Nigeria EFCC. As EFCC they delay evidence where they supposed bring to use Babha prosecute her case. Sake of say this woman bribed 2 Oga Patapata them for inside petroleum industry for Nigeria. The former Minister of Petroleum, Desani Alice Amadi AK, and the former Minister of State for Petroleum, Oga Ibe Kachikwu, say he bribed them and say that bribe evidence they with EFCC and EFCC no agree release them. And then for UK, they need them to use prosecute her. Make I cool down, give on a down narrative one by one. Make on just cool down, relax, listen to them. Now, according to this exclusive by People's Gazette, it says prosecutors in the United Kingdom are seething after Nigeria's anti-graft executives. They have failed to turn over key evidence in the ongoing corruption trial of controversial businesswoman Olatimbo Bukola Ayinde. Now, according to Gazette, they can report that with Nigeria officials fearing such duplicity could stain long-standing legal assistance between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. So Miss Ayinde, a notorious influence-peddler, now understood to be in Bola Tinubu's circle as the Nigerian president's mistress, according to this report, has been undergoing trial in the UK, London, for allegedly bribing Ibe Kachikwu, a former Nigerian petroleum minister. Now, the Crown Prosecution Service said Miss Ayinde delivered at least 1.3 billion naira in cash bribes to Mr. Kachikwu, while the former Risk magazine columnist, as Kachikwu, was driving Nigeria's oil and gas policy under President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, Ms. Ayinde was charged alongside Nigeria's infamous petroleum minister, Diezani Alice Madueke, who she allegedly bribed heavily too in a separate deal preceding that of Kachikwu. That one, and when she said she'd be minister for petroleum, that time. Now, according to this report, it was learned that the British authorities had in 2024, last year, sent letters to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Abuja requesting details of Miss Ayinde's bribes to Mr. Kachikwu for use in her trial before Justice Justin Thornton of the High Court of England. Now, the EFCC's endorsement of the incriminating document is said to be, or is required to establish, admissible rather, in the British courts. Now, the reporters heard that British officials had already guided Nigerian officials on how to obtain the files. And Justice Thornton, on November 25, 2024, gave them a deadline of June 2, 2025. That's June 2 months ago, to obtain the evidence ahead of the January 2026 trial at the King's Bench Division. Now, a CPS source familiar with the case told reporters in series of exchanges over the past months that they expected delays in getting the evidence from Nigeria, but they didn't know that it would take this long. Quoting the source now, it says, "We've complained previously to Nigerian officials about their tardiness." Their tardiness. Now, the officials said anonymously to comment on internal prosecution setbacks, and Ms. Ayende's case has unequally troubled us, according to the source. Then the official said Nigerian authorities were adequately briefed on the evidence and its urgency, primarily as Ms. Thornton had, that is a judge, had emphasized that it should be in from Nigeria before 2nd of June, which was 8 weeks ago. A spokesperson to the CPS did say, and he says not immediately nothing has been done about it yet. Now, despite getting the request for legal assistance in earnest, Nigerian anti-graft officials have now informed the Gazette, the reporters, that the agency was being frustrated from cooperating with the British counterparts, ascribing the situation as Miss Ayinde's close ties with the president, and that's why the agency, the EFCC, is being a bit dragging their feet to respond to the request by the British court. Quoting the source, it says, "They are telling us to look away, pretending otherwise." That's that they gave them the mandate to look away and they should pretend that nothing is happening. This is according to a senior official said. Now, maybe they think it's the only way we could help a woman so close to the president, yet so close to being sent to jail for fraud. Now, officials, Ayinde did not return calls when reporters tried to, get clearance from her on the case. She, however, pleaded not guilty in the charges before her, and she maintained no wrongdoing, and she was given bail. Say they say for abroad, they will first of all leave you and give you bail until they get evidences against you. Now, officials named Attorney General Lateef Fagbemi as directing the stalling of the records. That is, they say, now Oga Lateef Fagbemi, I direct them, made them stall the records, made them delay the records, saying he didn't seem to care whether or not Nigeria's mutual legal assistance deal with the UK was violated. So made them leave the deal, made them delay them, saying no care whether our mutual, deal with UK, go bad, no matter. A spokesperson of the EFCC did not also return requests to comment about the agency's handling of the case after several days. Now, a phone number of Mr. Fagbemi rang endlessly. He did not pick his call, according to the reporters. British authorities charged Ms. Ayinde in Part 8 of their unsealed information with bribery. Among others, she was granted bail alongside other alleged co-conspirators. Despite being on trial for cross-border criminals conspiracy, it was heard that from the State House, sources said that Ms. Ayinde has remained a key figure in directing Nigeria's affairs from London, with several appointees of the president going through her to actualize their policies or pecuniary agenda. Now, she seems to have some keen interest in national security and key sectors of the economy, a senior aide of the president said or told reporters. Her influence, while seemingly subdued, is, of course, undeniable. Now, a presidential spokesman said that the administration can't comment on Ms. Ayinde's relationship with the president or specific law enforcement of priorities, that they cannot comment on that. Now, what does this mean to Nigeria if this case is any way correct or true? What does it mean that we have a case like this where the the UK courts, they depend on us to send witness evidence we go help them prosecute a case for their country because the person they live for their country. But our law enforcement agencies or anti-crime agencies, they stall them. And the presidency, perhaps, they give them back into stolen because of the relationship they get with the accused. What do you mean if this case not true, sir?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What you read out now is self-descriptory. It's self-descriptory. The presidency has interest in protecting the woman, and that's why the British authorities are not getting the cooperation that they are seeking for. It's as simple as that. Let the British also feel what Nigerians have been feeling. So it's not only us that will suffer when the British support bad things. Let them also suffer. I think the British are not part of what's going on in Nigeria. So if Nigeria also complain, the British keep quiet. The British should also not complain. They should enjoy it. And they're part of what we have here. Of course. That's why the government knows that the British can't do nothing. So that's exactly why they are treated. The government knows they can't do nothing because they are bedmates. They can't do nothing. They are friendly to the regime in Nigeria. So what can do? It's noise. Forget it. They are the same thing.
So it no matter, nothing will happen. People would rather take it or leave it or anything. No matter.
The people in Britain know that the Tinubu administration is doing certain things that they want. Don't forget, the Russians are on this coast. So the British and the French don't want to mess with the Tinubu administration because they want them. These people are being removed everywhere where they are across the Sahel. One of the few friends they have on the Sahel is the Tinubu administration. So no matter what they do, Tinubu can ignore them and they won't do anything. Right? They can't do nothing. Forget it. Don't wish it. Don't be drinking Panadol for other people's headache.
All right. So there's something that there may be something that would help us drink Panadol for our judges now, because US now don't they threaten say they go sanction judges where they say they find one thing in any way. So after sanctioning Brazilian Supreme Court Judge Alexandra de Moraes for abusing his authorities by engaging in targeted and politically motivated witch hunt on Wednesday, and 999 they sanctioned him. American President Donald Trump threatening to also sanction corrupt judges in Nigeria and other countries across the globe in a similar manner. Say they go sanction them, they no care. If this kind of thing go happen for inside Nigeria, how you take CM? Considering say a lot of people don't vex already with our judiciary and the way we see some judges they go about their cases. What do you mean, especially from the apex, from the highest level of our judiciary?
The judiciary is part of our problem. They are severely compromised. Another one that's compromised is electoral umpire INEC. So the US have started the right noises, but the noises have to be followed with actions. Rhetorics are not enough to force changes in a foreign country. You need to have actions. It's just noise. You need actions. So it's not enough to be blowing this grammar because they may all be the same people. If the US is with the Nigerian government, the same way the UK government is with them. You just talked about how the UK government wanted cooperation. Nigerian government didn't give them simply because they think they are of value to the British establishment in more ways than they can explain openly. So it's one thing for governments to make this pronouncement. I would like to believe it when I see the actions interpreted into proper deeds.
Now, speaking about the actions, a lot of people don't expect, say, people like P2B and the rest of them should do well to lobby the US government. Do you think it will make any difference? It will make any difference at all to any ambition?
Well, it will make differences if the US administration are ready to work. You can lobby a government for as much as you care, but if they consider other ulterior interests in dealing with the target persons, they might just allow that ulterior interest to override the public good. That's what the US does. So I think it's a good thing to try to put pressure on them, to appeal to them, to use such actions and interventions as a way to prod the democracy forward. That not when they consider Tinubu, a US intelligence asset. There are reasons why they will list him as a U.S. intelligence asset.
And do you know that the presidency is yet to respond to that? What does it mean that the presidency hasn't responded to that yet?
Not everything the U.S. says you respond to. Some people just keep quiet. It's like when the U.S. tells you that they did espionage, they had covert operations against your country. What would you do? What would you do apart from issue rhetorics? You try anything, bombs will come near your way through some of their tactical aircraft. So you don't want trouble with the US. Even though they confess, under the previous administrations, we did meddle in the affairs. We even carried out some covert operations. What would you do? You can't do nothing. It's the US. They can do wrong and get away with it. It's an uneven world.
Oh.
So we have to, on our own plan, to also be good. Who are the Nigerians that cooperated with the US covert operations to be able to foment violence using Boko Haram? If you hear about Boko Haram being a covert operation, there are other things that are also covert operations. If they don't want you to rise, they could sponsor the bad governments using influence from Qatar to now force you to say it has to be Islamic this, Islamic that. Qatar does such funding. Qatar does meddle in Nigeria's internal politics. The state of Qatar does that. They fund, they give money, they try to influence electoral outcomes. It's not very good, but I'm telling you openly, Qatar does meddle in Nigeria's political affairs. What would you do to them? What would you do to them? So they're not the only ones. A lot of countries do this covertly. When you find out, what would you do? When they're successful in those things they do, a lot of the beneficiaries are in power. What would you do? It's a very, very unjust world, but we have to keep trudging on. We're not going to stop, no. Despite all this, and we know about them, we will continue to do things to provide for our people the best opportunities to create an inclusive society. There are people who take money from abroad and come here to prevent crises like the Boko Haram. Of course, it is successful because of the Nigerian collaborators. There's no way foreigners can do it alone.